What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Footy Fetish. We are now into double digits. Am I right, Mark?
We are.
Episode 10.
Yeah.
With me, Alfie Vincent. Mark, how you doing?
Yo, good.
Harry, how you doing?
Very well.
Caught you at a bad time there, sorry.
Refreshed.
We've got a special guest today, friend of the show and friend in real life, Sarah Williams.
Hello, how you doing?
Yes, I'm good. Good.
Welcome.
Round of applause for
I'm happy to be
guest.
here. Thank you.
Big Leicester fan and movie aficionado. You can catch her on what you want to plug your popcorn chat?
Yeah, popcorn chat. Yeah, it's my own sort of separate YouTube channel. So that's where I talk about films, a bit of TV as well. So if you're into that.
Lovely. Yeah, we'll put links and stuff down in the description.
I'll do my magic.
Yeah.
Here.
Bang,
Bang.
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 Bang, bang, bang.
Thanks, Mark.
But yeah, no, I think, the main bulk of the episode today is we're sort of just talking about a few football films that we've been watching over the last week. A few on there that you guys will definitely know. Talking to the fans, obviously, not you lot. But before that, obviously, we're going to talk about the football, what's been going over last week. While we have Sarah here, we want to talk, touch on Leicester. You're having another good season, to be honest, because, you guys have been smashing it really since you won the league, I'd say.
Yeah, I think ever since we won, still when we were all at university, but ever since,
great.
I think we've still been consistent. We had our Champions League spurt, we've got Europa League at the minute. But yeah, no, I've been consistent and I'm happy with that since we've come up, since from the Championship, because I've been there. We went down to League One and everything, and it's sad times, but it's great to see us now, being in the Premiership consistently and challenging the top clubs.
I think
you've literally lived out the dream of all football league clubs.
Yeah,
to
pretty
the
much.
T.
Literally.
Perfect.
But I think Leicester's become that team that's like everyone's sort of second team now. They're like the people's team. Almost.
I don't know anyone who hates Leicester.
You can't hate Leicester, really.
Not really.
You just can't.
You probably hate Jamie Vardy, but as a team,
no, I love
Jamie
Vardy.
Vardy.
Right.
Pure shithousery on a daily basis is amazing.
Who's the main rival? Is it Forest?
Well, it used to be Coventry back in the day because we both used to be in the Championship, and then we used to play Derby as well. So it's more when we're in the Championship, but Premiership there's no derbies now.
Who would you think is actually your closest rivalry in the Premiership? If you were to say, if there's one game on the schedule that you look at and you're like, oh, I hate this team.
What, in terms of location or
just you personally? For you, I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, Villa is probably technically the closest.
Fair enough.
But I don't hate Villa. A lot of people at my school used to support Villa because we're not too far from Birmingham. But no, I hate West Ham.
Oh,
yeah. At the minute.
Me too.
I hate West Ham.
Welcome to the club.
Yes. Oh, well, you're welcome on any time you want now. Now that we know that. But yeah, no. So you guys just recently played City, essentially got Lampard sacked. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. You mean Chelsea? Sorry, not Man City.
Oh,
say Man City?
You said City.
Oh, sorry. You beat Chelsea. That's my bad. You beat Chelsea. It's been a long day. 2-0. Yeah, just flying. It didn't really look like you were ever gonna do anything but win that game.
Yeah. I mean, early goal in DD. Great, and then obviously we had Maddison's goal also in the first half, and then just nothing really from Chelsea. Even though the possession technically, the stats still said Chelsea had a lot of possession, but they just weren't doing anything with that. But yeah, so I think it was good that we took the advantage of that, really. Yeah, no,
that Fofana guy, at the back, centre back. I didn't really know much about him, but he's wicked.
Yeah, no, he's good. And I think James Justin as well is sort of showing his potential.
He's in my FPL
as
team.
well.
He is.
Yeah, me too.
He's even he had a chance as well. He definitely could have got that third goal.
Oh, I don't know how he didn't put that in, man.
Yeah, but no, I think our defence is definitely looking a lot stronger at the minute, which is good. Considering we have a lot of defenders in the squad. But no, I'm pretty happy with the team at the minute, and that showed with the Chelsea game.
Nice. Yeah. I think. It's impressive to me how you guys have had amazing players since you've won the league, but obviously quite a few of them have gone away. But you've managed to replace them pretty seamlessly.
Yeah, definitely. We lost definitely a lot of midfielders, especially Kante, Drinkwater, all sort of followed suit. Chilwell.
Yeah.
but
Big players.
Maguire as well, and you just think, oh, like traitor,
Mahrez.
boo, like what are you doing, Mahrez? But at the end of the day, like you said, we've managed to fill that spot, and you think, oh, these are big names. But if you look at them now, they've gone to the clubs. Is Maguire that great anymore? I don't know.
I don't know. He's getting better and better, I think. But he's definitely, you fleeced United, which is amazing. Absolutely fleeced them, which is fair enough. And then you bought. Did you have Soyuncu or did you bring him in after Maguire was sold? I think you bought him in.
I can't remember, to be honest.
Because he looks like the £80 million man, not Maguire, really.
Yeah.
And you managed to keep hold of him. And now you got Fofana, which you never know what he's going to be like, but he looks wicked.
Yeah, and you've got Evans as well, so you've got strong centre backs there, really, that you can trust.
The big mystery for me is what's going to happen once Vardy is no longer able to play Premier League football, because he's obviously not only been like Leicester's best player the last 20 years or whatever, but his character is kind of what people think of when you think of Leicester. He's obviously a big person in the dressing room, so it's going to be hard to replace that, and his ability on top of that.
Yeah, I think he will be missed, definitely. He'll be sort of one of those legends that we'll have, framed around the stadium and everything. But it's going to be hard. I think the goals will still come. I don't think we'll have a top goal scorer of the season anymore, maybe in the future, once he's sort of retired or moved on or whatever. But I think we'll still be okay. Like we said, with players that have gone, such as Mahrez, Kante, we've been able to fill the spot.
You've proved that you've lost talent, but can also still bring in talent and develop talent as well. So
I think obviously with losing Vardy, obviously you lose such a key player up top. But I do feel like with the fact that players like Maddison and Barnes have had such a long time to learn from him and all that kind of stuff, that I think you'll keep that same love and intensity in the dressing room through players like them. I think it would just be like, the goals, obviously you can't really replace that.
Yeah,
Vardy's unreal. But he could play till he's like 40, he's like a bit of he do what he wants.
Be like a Buffon, he'll just keep playing.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know, it'd be interesting, because what is he now? Mid-30s, Vardy?
33, I think he is now.
33. He's got a couple more years in him.
We've got Wes Morgan still, and he's like 33, and
He's still there.
He's still there.
Jesus.
Still in the squad. Shocking.
That's insane.
Madness. Yeah, I think Vardy would be there for a few more years.
I hope that he sees his career out there. I think that'll be a really nice sort of finish.
I generally just don't see him leaving ever. He'll just become staff at one point, like working behind the canteen, just feeding
be a groundskeeper.
Party as manager.
So what do you think for Leicester this year? You guys are currently doing pretty well.
But we're third at the minute.
You're third in the table, only 2 points off of City, who are top. 3 points. On City, who are top. But yeah, no, it's looking good.
Yeah, I mean, top 4 I think is realistic. I mean, historically, we normally do really well in the first half, normally like top 3. And then we normally sort of go downhill after Christmas. But I'm really surprised this year. I think this year could be a fluke year. You could say that as the years we won was a bit of a fluke year. So I think we could potentially get a good, at least top 4, definitely.
Yeah. To add to the sort of thing, it always seems every year that you get the Leicester are always like 1 or 2, like in the title race at the beginning of the season, and then you always get that stat that they're doing better than the year they won the league.
The last 5 years, that's what we've had.
And it's the same this year, but you seem to keep them going so far. Like you don't seem like you're going to slow down anytime soon.
Yeah, as long as you just keep getting those wins and draws, at least no more losses, I think we'll be okay. And I think the goal difference is quite key as well in this season.
Especially right now, it's so tight.
Yeah, I mean, Man City are like just smashing it on goal difference compared to us. They're like,
John
10
Stones
above.
has become an amazing player somehow again. But good stuff. So do you think top 4? Yeah, Champions League next season.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was really unlucky last year with the sort of the way it finished at the end of the season, sort of holding it down to last game.
Yeah.
I mean, Europa's still good. It still helps the club out, and it got some international games in. But yeah, I think this year we could definitely get top 4.
Do you think Harvey Barnes is going to be in the Euro team?
I think I've always rated him.
He's another one in my FPL
He's
team. I think
wicked.
he's great.
I remember when he came over from West Brom, and we used to do a bit of filming at West Brom for what I do as my job, and they were gutted when he went. And I think I don't know how old he is. I think he's younger than us, isn't he? He's like 21 or something.
Oh, I hate this. That like these are now younger
so yeah.
than us. It sucks.
Oh, it hurts, doesn't it?
Try not to think about it.
Yeah, it really does. And I'm like, Pulisic, and then I'm like, oh wait, he's like 21. Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's like, oh, there's a nice, good 16-year-old academy product coming through. It's like, oh my god, I was 8 when he was born. That's outrageous.
Yeah, it does hurt. It does hurt. But yeah, do you think you guys will be able to keep hold of Brendan Rodgers? Because there's been a lot of talks about him. I think, well, every time there's a job that comes up that's a bigger team, it seems to be his name, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. I think he has been a good manager for us, definitely. I think I like his sort of temperament and stuff. Obviously, we've had trouble with a couple of managers in the past, such as Nigel Pearson. So
Twat.
I think,
Yeah.
and his sons
And his
all that.
son as well.
Oh my god, yeah.
It was very embarrassing for the club. I was like, oh, Leicester in the news, not for good reasons.
You had a good bounce back though. Winning the Premier League is a good way to sort of put that to the side.
Yeah, definitely. But no, I think Brendan Rodgers, I hope that he stays at least for another season. I think if we get top 4, he should stay. So we should at least get him next season as well. Can't see who would step in, to be honest, at the minute.
Frank Lampard.
Oh yeah.
We don't want him.
You don't want Frankie. Oh, to be honest, there's been like some rumours in like the Palace Twitter sphere that Lampard is one of the favourites to take over from Roy. I just hate that idea. We'll probably get relegated.
Not sure about that.
You never know. But Roy's got to go. But we'll get onto that in a bit. So another game that happened. Arsenal seemed to have a bit of a revive. Did anyone see the game yesterday?
No,
from
I
it.
No, I missed
Oh
that.
mate, Arsenal looked pretty crazy. Pepe scored for one, and it was actually a very good goal. Yeah,
I saw that one. Did he do a pretty decent run on the ball?
Yeah, he did some run where he nutmegged like 2 players as well. It was pretty crazy. I don't know. He's looking more like a £72 million man, but probably still not nearly that much.
Probably needs to keep doing that in most games to earn that.
So I'll tell you what, someone who
price.
does it like a £72 million man is Saka.
Yes,
He is smashing it, man.
He's a little talent, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's English,
Probably
which is wicked.
about that.
Yeah.
What's that, H?
It probably is worth about that now.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Already.
I don't even think he's 20 yet, right? I'm
He
not
looks
sure,
about 12.
but, yeah, that's true. But yeah, no, he's a wicked player. I think Arsenal, man, you never know. They could. I mean, they're not going to get top 4.
Not anymore. No.
Break into like Europe or something.
Yeah.
They'll probably beat City this year because City are going to finish 7th. So Arsenal could definitely get in there. But apart from that, I mean, what?
City are 9 points ahead of 7th as it stands.
That's still not far.
No, it's not that bad. I was hoping it was going to be more when I went to look that up, but 29.
News in from the games happening today. Villa are 1-0 up against Burnley.
Who scored?
Ollie Watkins.
Not bad.
That puts Villa up to 7th. They are 2 points behind you, Mark.
It's very close. Very close to the table.
We don't exactly have great fixtures.
No. Well, you guys got some tough ones coming up. Tottenham. Yeah. How do you feel about that coming up?
Not that bad. Now I know that Henderson is definitely playing at the moment, and that Matty is also definitely playing at the moment, because that can easily change as it has done in the past.
Yeah.
But I think having Henderson back in there is a lot of confidence, even though, well, his ability, I'd never question his ability, just his mentality. Like, he's the brain of the game, especially for big appearances like that. So I'm just happy to see Henderson back, really, and an experienced defender in that back line, because I mean, Reece Williams, decent but young.
Yeah. It's is it Fabinho's down at the back as well, right? He's like the other. He's still
starting centre back, although obviously with now another option coming in, potentially might just see him go to that centre defensive role again, but just play more conservatively at the back.
Yeah. So
effectively just bolstering the defenses even more. But I'm not the manager, unfortunately. I'd expect to see Fabinho to start centre back, but again, like Tottenham haven't really. I mean, they're still a great team, like good threat up front.
Yeah, man.
But I don't know. I mean, the United game had obviously the Premier League one, but the one where we lost 3-2. Although we lost, there were a lot of positives that I saw from that team. I didn't get annoyed watching Liverpool for the first time in a few weeks, but I don't know. So going into this game, I'm more confident than previous games just because of we've actually put something in the back of the net finally. Not in the Premier League though, but and the team as a whole, it just looks like it's coming back to its original state in terms of just fitness and players available. So I'm hoping for just like 2-1 or 1-0 win.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good game. I'm looking forward to it.
Realistically, it really could go either way. I don't think Spurs have been. What's Spurs' results been lately? Anything?
Well, I mean, it doesn't
win.
really matter because yours is horrific.
Exactly. Exactly. So, but that's why I'm focusing so much on the other team, just because.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Just because I know ours has been horrific, and just getting a point would be nice.
It looks weird when you see 9 wins, 7 draws, 3 losses. It's like, oh, Liverpool. Out of 19 games, you think Liverpool should have won at least 15 of them.
I know.
And
it's just going a bit mad. I've seen a lot of stuff. Everyone's saying Klopp out now as well has been trending.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
But why would you do that? Like, I would never say that.
It'd be hilarious to see it happen. I'd love to see it happen because it'd be hilarious.
I know.
But that's
the worst part is some of those people will definitely be serious about it as well.
Oh yeah,
I know.
There will be some people who really believe that.
Yeah. I don't believe that. I strongly.
You're gonna get Kenny Dalglish for a 3rd stint.
Jesus, no one. He's not going anywhere. Klopp will stay. He'll die as Liverpool's manager.
Okay.
Don't need anyone else.
Within a week.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, no, I think that's ridiculous. But yeah, City, Man United. Do you guys think Man United are gonna legitimately pose a title threat?
I mean, they are at the moment.
Yeah.
So I don't see any reason why. It just has to.
They haven't lost in the last 5.
No, they just got to keep up the momentum, really.
Especially if they can keep up with City, because City's form now is
they're
pretty
really
damn good.
When was the last time Man United won the league? How many years ago was that now?
2012? Oh, 2013. Yeah.
About 7 years.
That was the Van Persie season.
Oh, yeah. Fergie's last year, right? And then, because the season before that, it was City, wasn't it? They beat them. That was the one where it was golden.
That was Aguero.
Oh, it's the best. But yeah, I mean, I was going to say we'll talk about Palace, but there's just no point really. Roy out, I guess. Get him out of the club.
We've said that consistently, like every podcast. I feel. Roy
out.
It's
just getting boring.
Get that trending.
Well, it's ever since like the fact that it's like, oh, he's a defensive coach, he brings stability, but we're like every fucking game we're conceding 3 or more goals. It's like, how the fuck is he a defensive coach? Like, you know, I'd rather take a punt on like an Eddie Howe and be like, right, you know, he could probably get us playing nicer football. We might, you know, just scrape getting relegated, but I don't know. Although Lampard, I do think will probably get us relegated.
Yeah.
I don't know how what do you guys think? Do you think he'd get us relegated, or do you think he's good enough to keep us up?
I mean, what is it now? It's end of January.
I don't
know. I'll tell you. Let me tell you some points and stuff like that. I'll give you the. So we are currently 14th with 23 points, and the relegation zone's on 12. Like we don't. Yeah,
right, you're not going to go down. Roy will keep you up.
Yeah, I don't think. Frank will.
There's so many worse teams.
Actually, you see what Newcastle are doing right now. Newcastle might mess around and get relegated.
Did you see that video of them taking shots to practice in the warm?
Yeah, oh my god, man.
Practice shots that just look weak and none of them were on target.
Like, yeah.
And they're thinking, should I take Callum Wilson at my FPL team? Because it's not confident at all.
I feel so bad for him, man. He's gone from one bad team to another, and it's just like, he's gone from being a one-man team to being a one-man team again.
Barely.
I mean, we're a one-man team.
But with more pressure now.
Yeah, exactly, with more pressure, but at least he's got like Steve Bruce as like the scapegoat, and Mike Ashley as a scapegoat. Like he can, like Newcastle fans will turn on them before they turn on Callum Wilson. I feel.
I don't think you can hate on Callum Wilson. To be fair, in the position he's in.
No, he's a good player. I was about to say something. I'll do mad shit to get him at Palace, but I don't know what I would do. But yeah, all right. Well,
that's the X-rated podcast.
Yeah, exactly. But oh god, can you imagine? Well, we got this new kid. Apparently, he's going to play against Wolves this weekend.
Who? The one you signed.
The Tatter. Yeah.
Have you seen? Is he? How have you heard any good things about him?
I saw. So Palace always put like training videos and stuff up on YouTube, for like training video of the week or whatever. And they had one with his first like couple training sessions, and it was his link up with Zaha was getting like better and better, and he was banging in goals, like near post, far post, like chipping it, like it looked good. He looked really confident, which is what we need. But yeah, I don't know, Roy, man. If Roy's got a history of just getting these strikers in and just not playing them, so he does worry me, man. He does worry me, but I don't know. We'll be in a 4-4-2 again, so it's probably not his best position, like formation to play him in. But you know, it is what it is. But right, should we get into the main bulk of this?
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's do it.
Absolutely. All right. So what we're doing here is where's my? Oh, I can't find my notepad. I'll have to find that in a minute. But what we're doing here is we took a load of football. Mark, do you have the films?
I do. So the films that we sort of spent some time watching. I mean, some of us may not have watched every single one of them or have seen them previously, and can just go off that. Really, it's not really that strict. So we have Mike Bassett, She's the Man, Goal, Shaolin Soccer, Green Street, Bend Like Beckham, Me Machine, and Kicking and Streaming. So what was that, 8 films? Weird amount of number, but then we thought 10 films would be too many films and 5 probably isn't enough. So somehow we settled on 8. If anyone has any honourable mentions or films that deserve to be on the list more than the ones we sort of chose, feel free just to let us know.
We could do a part 2 at some point.
Part 2, part 3.
There's so many random films.
So many. Obviously, we didn't want to just choose some of the most highly rated films. We just wanted to throw some shitters in there just for the pure banter. I think we've got quite a nice list really to go through.
Yeah, for sure. While I'm here, because I have to dip out soon, can we talk about Mike Bassett to start off with? Because this film, I've seen it. I'm fairly sure the first time I've ever seen it was with you, H, at uni. I think you showed me it for the first time.
Probably, yeah.
And I hadn't seen it since, but oh my god, this is the best. It's like the best film ever.
It's hilarious. A great mockumentary.
It is funny. It actually does bring out emotional, like, you know, it does bring emotion out on you, especially with his if speech to the press. I mean, it does. There's some times where it does pull at your heartstrings, but it also makes you laugh like crazy. I mean, we're doing these ratings out of 10, right? I mean, we're doing a rating for them, I believe.
Yeah.
I've got a 9 out of 10 for this one.
I also have a 9 out of ten.
For what it is,
I
it's
went
the perfect
9.5.
thing.
9.5. We're bringing points.
Oh, I went lower.
I did. That's the only 0.5, I think.
Oh, right.
Okay.
I went for 7 out of 10.
7. Okay.
7.
I am a harsh critic. You'll understand this.
That's fine. That's why we have you on this show to bring us down a peg.
Yeah. So yeah, what did you guys think? I'll throw to Sarah, our guest, as she is the movie one out of us.
I'll be honest, I never heard of this film until you said it. So I watched it on Amazon Prime with my parents. Mum's like, "Oh, I've seen that film years ago." Not realizing that it came out in 2001. Yep. You can definitely tell. But I loved the mockumentary style. I thought it was hilarious. I love the royal family, and I just thought it was just perfect. It was just really silly, and it just played on so many like tropes of different players, managers, like, you know, Looney's like effing and blinding at players like this bit Ferguson, you know, there's different like hints, like there's a bit of Paul Gascoigne with the drunkenness, and I liked all those sort of bits they played on. I thought the cast was great. I was like, oh, there's quite a few little appearances, you know, quite a few little British some really good actors in there, and I like the social commentary. I like the FA of like these white old men. And then I think there's even the bit where like put the letters under my door. Yeah, I'll look under it, and then it's just like a flap of just like a pile of letters where all the managers have just tried to talk to him. But no, yeah, I did overall really enjoy it.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I think it's the opening for me was just had me in tears with the bus, the Norwich bus, where they go the dual carriageway and they have to come back. It sets the tone for the whole film of like what this is going to be. I know you love this film, man, so I'll let you talk about it a bit. What are some of your favorite things about it?
Well, first of all, I think this is a film culmination after a series. I think there was a series called Mike Bassett Manager. I've never seen it, and obviously you don't need to see it to find this. It's funny.
Yeah.
The bit in particular that always gets me, they're at the new training complex. There's that machine that replicates the player movement. It's like, we got Pele, we got Maradona, and Mark Lawrenson. Yeah,
Mark Lawrenson.
We ran out of money. Got Mark Lawrenson. It kills me. So yeah, some great cameos. Phil Jupitus is one of the reporters. I think it's the only thing I've ever seen him act in.
Yeah. He's good in it as well. It took me by surprise, turning out to be the big man as well.
I love that they got Keith Allen in for the song. It's not an England song without him.
Yep.
Certain bits, playing with the imaginary ball at training. I used to do that when I was a kid sometimes. Being 2-0 down, having a massive angry rant, and then losing 4-0.
4-0.
So many bits I could go on for ages about this film. Brilliant.
Yeah, it's the bit where they're playing Poland and they score. It's like, well on Poland. For God's sake, man. Mark, have you seen this film before, mate?
I did watch it at uni, not with you guys though. I think it was just one of those films that I just just randomly come across.
Yeah.
I think I was just avoiding doing an essay or something. But no, I rewatched it again and realized how hilarious it was. Just how comically funny. Just all the characters were just so good. I just enjoyed watching Mike. Also, I like the cameos, which you just touched a little bit. I didn't recognize all of them, probably didn't pay attention that much to it, but I've got a list here that we have Pele, Ronaldo, Atomic Kitten, Keith Allen, Gabby Logan, Barry Venison, Alan Green, Brian Moore, Clive Tilsley, Martin Tyler, Natasha Kaplinsky. Cameos were on point, brilliant cameos. It's just great. It's just an entertaining little mockumentary to watch, and I just really enjoyed it, especially his bloody effing and blinding rant. Really, it went for so long.
2-2 down to the Mexicans.
The rose the bag.
Yeah.
Also, Benson and Hedges kills me as well.
Oh yeah.
That was the one thing my mum remembered from the film. She's like, all I remember is that he wrote the team down the back of a cigarette packet, and I was like, okay.
He's playing in Division 2, and he's like, I told you there'd be some surprises.
Who's next, Lambert and Butler?
Was this did they film part of this film during the actual World Cup? Is that how they got away with a lot of like the stadium shots? Do you know?
I don't know actually, but
idea.
I imagine it's got something to do.
2000 obviously was the World Cup, wasn't it?
Was the World Cup, yeah.
I did think at one point it would have been weird for them just driving an England bus through the streets of Brazil if there's no World Cup on.
Yeah, I think they went the full hog. But it's great that Pele got involved. I just can't believe he was just up for it. Just got the humour.
Probably got paid.
I am surprised by that they managed to pull as many people as they did. Because I can't imagine this film had a particularly big budget or anything like that. So, it's fair play to them. That's one film that I'm now going to watch. I think every year. I think I'm going to
Christmas film or
like
something.
Once a year, man. Because it's too good to not watch, and it's only like an hour and a bit, isn't it? Like an hour and a half or whatever. It's a banging film.
And now, especially, it brings back memories of 2018 when we actually did get to the semi-final.
Yeah,
that was great summer. No,
maybe Mike Bassett could have taken us all the way to the final.
Maybe that's who you need for Palace as well.
Well, he's won a cup. There's more that I can say for. Well, actually, no. To be fair, was Roy won a cup? I'm sure he has in some way that he's managed. He's managed all over the place, hasn't he? So
He's getting on.
but yeah, all right. So we'll lock in scores. We've got a 9 from me, a 9 from Mark, a 9.5 from Harry, and a 7 from Sarah.
That's
Ooh.
right. I've got it noted. So yeah.
All right. So next film I'll talk about is She's the Man. We'll throw to this one. Yeah. Well, I hadn't seen this film in quite a while before I watched this. It's one of them films that you used to watch all the time on like the Disney Channel. It'd be actually like on the Disney Channel. But yeah, it's I gave this a 6 out of 10. I actually do quite like this film. It's not like the most horrendous thing. I forgot bloody what is it? Channing Tatum
Yeah.
is in
It's
this
one of
film.
the main characters.
I know, but I just forgot. For some reason, I thought it was
The skinny Channing.
Yeah, I thought it was some other guy. I can't remember. It was like in like the OC or something. I can't remember. Some guy from that.
Oh,
But,
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Chad Michael Murray? Is that
That's
the guy?
it. Yeah. I thought it was him. That seems like
Jesus
such a him
Christ.
film.
Pulled that name out your ass, didn't you?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Secret super fan, evidently.
Never
But-
seen
Pants,
it.
pants camera.
I think it was this person.
Yeah. I might be wrong. But,
Just turn the camera. It's all like all the DVDs and posters.
Just a
yeah, I'll hand over to Sarah. But so, what do you think of She's the Man?
I didn't need to rewatch this film because I've seen this film 50 times probably. It was one of the films that came out when I was sort of massively into football. I was 11 years old, I think, when it came out.
Yeah.
And we just like after like football games or we'd just hang out with my mates, we would watch this film constantly. Like we just loved it. It's so quotable. I even use like the quotes now, like in my day-to-day life. And we got to watch it in English as well because it's based on 12th Night.
Yeah, Shakespeare thing,
Yeah.
isn't it?
So we did 12th Night as our GCSE play. So our teacher said at the end of the year before the exam, you can watch the film. And that was there was quite a few films like that in the 90s, especially. They adapted a lot of Shakespeare stuff, like 10 Things I Hate About You, Clueless.
Obviously,
Not Clueless,
Romeo
that's
and
Emma,
Juliet,
sorry.
right?
Romeo and Juliet, yeah. It's
Well,
like
I
a
guess
big
that's just
era.
Romeo and Juliet.
Big era for like adaptation stuff. So that was good. But I just love this film. I think it's so silly. It's like, I think it's really unfortunate that Amanda Bynes doesn't do much acting anymore, but I just think her comical timing in this film and the physical comedy
Their
is just
facial
brilliant.
expressions are on point.
The expression, I think,
Yeah.
is just amazing. And obviously it's great to see women's football represented in some way. I know she's disguised as a boy for
Yeah.
most of the film, but seeing that at like 11 years old, that was pretty cool to see. Yeah, and also I've written down that there's always it's always stuck with me at the end in the final game. Don't know if you really remember this, but Channing Tatum does this throw where he does a throw.
Oh
in,
yeah,
and does a
yeah,
flip.
there's the front
Yeah,
flip
yeah.
throw. So cool.
And I remember everyone used to try and do that, and it just wouldn't work. But yeah, it's just a great film. I love it. I know it's rubbish now, but I just have such good memories of it. It'll always be highly rated for me.
And speaking of highly rated,
Highly rated. I've given this higher than Mike Bassett. I've given
what have you given it?
No,
giving it-
you do you.
I've given it 8 out of 10.
Hey,
Nice.
Just the
Nice.
nostalgia
No,
mainly.
that
That's
is
it,
fine.
really.
That is fine.
Yeah, so it's all opinions here. But yeah, no, I did. It is fun. It is one of them things where, as a kid, because I used to watch the Amanda Show. I don't know if anyone used to watch.
Yeah.
The
Yes.
Yeah, I did.
Big in the UK.
But- Oh mate, yeah, that was so
Huge.
good. But yeah, it is actually. To be fair, what you're saying about Amanda Bynes, it is a shame that she's not really been in anything recently. I think she went off the rails, right?
That was
Yeah.
like her last film, I swear.
Parents won't let her access her money, and they keep perpetuating the narrative that she's insane and off the rails.
In rehab, I think.
So-
isn't
Oh,
she?
Yeah,
Britney
so
Spearsing her.
They don't. Yeah, basically, yeah.
Jeez.
Childhood
So-
stars, isn't it? Because she did
Yeah.
stuff when she was like 12 or something mad.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
And that those Nickelodeon producers were dodgy as well. So
I can imagine. Yeah, like
Yeah, it'd be a bit rough.
definitely. But yeah, no, Mark, what did you think of this, my man?
Oh, to be fair,
Easy, man.
I enjoyed it. It was funny. It had its moments. But like, if I'm going to be serious about it, it's
Had
just
you,
a
sorry,
bit...
had you seen it before?
Me?
Yeah, have you seen
Yeah,
it?
of course.
Yeah, okay.
yeah. So this is one of Becky's favourite films. So naturally, I watched it with
Nice.
Becky, and
Nice.
like Sarah said, she was quoting it all the way through. Even turned around at one point, she was recording it and sending it to her sister, like just like little
Nice.
snippets. I was like, all right. But all in all, I think it's more of like just a feel-good film where it's just a bit happy, upbeat. In terms of the actual football, I didn't see much. Like, you don't really see like a full game. And what you did see was all like close-up shots.
Yeah, the most you see is the end game, innit? The last one.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's what brought it down for me. So I ended up rating this one a 5 out of 10. The only thing really that kept it in the running was that it was just a classic, a childhood classic of just a good football film. And it annoyed me that they kept calling it soccer.
But what do you expect with an American film?
I know. But every time I heard it, I was just like...
I mean, it does definitely worthy of deducting a point, for sure.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, you have to take it with a pinch of salt because it's an American, I suppose.
Yeah.
Soundtrack is banging as well.
Soundtrack is banging, yeah.
It's good. That sort of era of music, like All American Rejects and stuff like that. It was just great.
Yeah, so Mark, you got 5?
5, yeah.
Gone 6. Sarah's gone 8. H, what are you saying about She's a Man?
It was my first time seeing it. I really enjoyed it. Just a fun, upbeat film. I didn't realise it was based off 12th Night before watching it. But I also studied it at school, and that was one of the Shakespeare plays that I actually enjoyed. Like,
it's
actually
comedy,
appealed
so
to
it's
me.
good.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. I scored it a 6. It was fun. I would definitely watch it again. The title sequence in particular was awesome when they're playing on the beach.
Yeah.
They kept doing like the action freeze frames and stuff. I thought that was really cool. Yeah, not got much else to say that hasn't been said already.
Fair enough.
Nice. So what's your score, sorry?
6.
6, nice, yeah. So that's, fair enough, that seems nice. But I'm gonna have to go in a minute. Before I go, can I talk about Shaolin Soccer?
Yeah.
Because this film is sick, man, and I want to watch it all the time. It's an actual, like, it's a spectacle. What I was saying to you on the chat, like, it is something that you just sit, you're like, what is this? This is amazing. Like, all the thing where they like kick, and then it's just the wind is just flowing for like 5-10 seconds or whatever after they've kicked. It's just, oh mate, I've given it a 7 purely.
7. Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to give it a 10, but then I was like, you can't give a 10. There's no perfect film out there, even though this comes close. But I had to be realistic about it. But I thought it was insane. To be honest, the story, I just didn't even really pay attention to the story whatsoever. I just couldn't. All the mad stuff that was happening.
It's a very busy film.
Yeah, man. But it was just like the cool stuff where she like goes down like that and has like the ball in between the legs, the bloke. That's just insane. But yeah, I don't know. I gave it a 7 out of 10 because of it just made me feel like, what the fuck?
It's a bit epic, isn't it?
Yeah, man. It's just the whole time I was just basically like what is going on? But yeah, Mark, what did you think about this one?
Oh, mate, again, this is a film I think could be like reimagined as a really good anime. Like, really good. Because there was one, like, I remember being younger, there was a cartoon which had people had like these special powers playing football, and I don't know.
Yeah.
But no, I thought it was just a really sort of entertaining football film. You get a lot of football in it. What I like, a lot of football. The only issue I had was that it has quite a slow start. Like, there's a lot of build up, and it kind of takes a while to get into the actual film. But once it does, I think the visuals are great, even though it's like a 2000 film or something like that.
Yeah.
Really old film, and I think they actually did quite a good job with some of the CGI and the special effects in there. A little bit questionable at the time, using like
Oscar worthy for CGI and visual effects. Let's get it straight. Like,
it's just some of the stuff
blows Endgame out the water, man.
Literally gonna do like Endgame.
back in that time, obviously. But no, I just think it has a good impact as a film as well. It was just really fun to watch. It's just mental. It's just so much is happening. And I like the little bits where they're a little bit silly because I don't think they go too far. The only bit that grossed me out was when there's like that really fat guy who really likes eggs for some reason. And someone throws an egg. It was gross. There was someone who threw an egg and it landed on someone's foot, and it was a really disgusting, like, old trainer. And this fat guy come running on, jumped down and literally poked the egg yolk with his finger, and it popped, and he just licked it off the shoe. And I was like, it scarred me.
Yeah, I had to block that one out of my memory, man. I can't lie. But
it was horrible. But yeah, I rated this one an 8 out of 10.
Whew.
So yeah,
Nice.
it's decent.
Nice. Sarah, what did you think? Was this the first time this was the first time you ever seen it? Because you messaged me about it saying, what the hell is this?
I thought you'd sent me to some dodgy thing. I was like, what am I watching? I was so confused when I first turned it on. I was like, what is going on? I agree with Mark. It was definitely slow to begin with. I sort of counted roughly, it's like 20 minutes, 25 minutes before there's any actual football.
Yeah.
But it was just, it was so crazy, but I loved it at the same time. It was just so bizarre. I mean, I've seen a few Asian films, and they are very peculiar with their humour, and you can sort of see that in this film. But it was just silliness, and I think after a while I just got in. I was like, okay, just like forget all your ego,
Yeah.
like don't expect anything.
Oh yeah, don't expect anything good going into watching this. Just have a fun time with it.
It was just bizarre, and it was like a real life anime. It was just like the editing of like when the woman slips on the banana at the beginning. If only she knew karate. She'd been alright.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good. And there's just random dance breaks. Like, why was Celebration being played twice in the film? What was that about? Where'd they get the rights for that? I don't know. But yeah, it was good. And then I liked at the end because you actually got to see, as they started to sort of succeed in sort of beating these other teams, we got to see more football. Like, I think, to be fair, a lot of the stuff on pitch, the green screen stuff was pretty good. There was bits where I could tell they were wearing wires, definitely. Like,
Oh yeah.
it's when some of the I think they're female players with mustaches, and they're running, and I'm like, I can see where it's like been bunched up at their t-shirt, but otherwise, pretty good, but cringy at the same time. But yeah, I definitely will be watching this again. It's ones I need to show my friends, like, you need to watch this film. Whether you're into like foreign films or not, you need to watch this. It's just bizarre. Absolutely.
Being drunk watching this film would be amazing.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you need to be drunk. I think it has the effect already. It's just
Fair enough.
wacky.
So what did you rate for this, sorry?
I also gave it 7 out of 10.
7.
Yeah.
Nice. Harry, what did you think, man? Have you seen this before?
I saw it a long time ago. Yeah, it's not really my sort of thing. I'll be honest. This one. I mean, I didn't hate it. I liked a lot of the characters. I thought they were like easy to root for and stuff. But I just found myself, whenever they started actually playing, I just didn't care what was happening. It was so stupid. I just found myself not caring at all what was going on with it. It was so like exciting that I found it boring. Like, it's just too much for me. But I've never really been a fan of like anime or anything anyway, so it probably just went over my head kind of thing. But the comedy bits I enjoyed a lot, like the story exposition scenes I thought were really good. But I've given it a 4, but I didn't hate it. It's just not for me.
Fair enough, man.
I don't see it being a film for everyone, to be honest.
Nah, definitely not. It is.
It's very...
a bit mental, isn't it?
It is a bit mental.
Yeah, it's not something that you're going to watch all the time, but it's quite bad. Looking at it, I probably should have rated it lower than She's the Man, but I think I just got lost in the whole shouting soccer thing. I just loved it, man. I hadn't seen it in so long. I was like, oh, dude. But yeah, I'm going to have to dart now, but it's been lovely speaking to you guys. And Sarah, thank you so much for coming on.
Yes, see you soon, Al.
Obviously, you guys are still going to run through the films, but yeah, Mark, you've got my scores, haven't you?
I do indeed.
For the next one. Sweet. So, yeah, well, take it easy, guys, and I'll see you later.
Okay, guys, welcome back. So we've just seen Alfie go. He is unfortunately busy. Can't expect him to be here every week in, week out. We do have lives, so unfortunately
we don't get paid for it.
We don't get paid. We have to, do other things and make other ends meet.
Mark's refusing to give me a salary.
So I'm the only one that gets paid. No, so we'll be continuing with the list without Alfie. I have all of his sort of scores, although I can't give you his opinion, unfortunately. So we're just going to have to make our own one up as we go along. So Alfie's probably going to hate every film now, and he's going to say some horrible things, but it's all from Alfie.
Alfie loved it. He thought it was the best film ever.
He gave it a 2, but he told me it's his favourite film. So anyway, moving on, we're going to go to Goal. Now, I've seen this one quite a long time ago. I haven't watched it since. So H, what did you think about this one?
This was my first time seeing it. It's one I'd heard a lot about. Obviously, we were like the target audience when it came out.
Yeah.
Especially from our mate George, because he loves this film. Yeah, I thought it was really good. It felt believable, the story.
Yeah, definitely.
Santiago's gran was an absolute sweetheart. There were a couple of bits I loved, like the idea of it being a Hollywood film and then hearing over the tannoy, goal scored by Igor Biscan. Outrageous throwback name. Yeah, I was also surprised that Gavin didn't turn out to be a baddie.
Yeah.
Like, he was a dickhead, sure, but
very unlikable character.
The first time you see him, you think, he's just going to be a bastard the whole way through.
Yeah.
But no, he actually did have a redemption arc.
Yeah. It's good. I kind of enjoyed seeing that though. In its own way.
A couple problems near the end, like him getting phone signal on the pitch and being on the phone like right at the end of the game. Not going to happen.
It's going to be in a locker. It's going to be in a changing room about 15-minute walk away.
His Nokia, like, hello.
And using his right foot the whole way through the film, or then all of a sudden spanking in a big left-footed free kick. Unnecessary continuity error. But enjoyed the film. 6.5.
6.5. Okay, and Sarah, what did you think?
So I haven't rewatched this one. I'm just going off my memories of it, but I think I had it on DVD. Again, like Harry said, it was very much like our target audience really when we were younger. I had no idea why it was Newcastle. I know that many people, because of this film, started supporting Newcastle, which is bizarre. I think I saw the second one actually, because they actually made 3 films of this, but I think the first one is the best out of the 2 that I've seen. I think what's really good about it is there's not that much football really, it's a lot more about the characters. I think there's a really quite good screenwriting, dare I say, in this film. You know, like you said, you've got the redemption story. It's a lot about Santiago and his family. So I think actually the writing of it's pretty good. So I like it for that sake. And I like the little cameo from like Zidane and like Raul at the bar. That was a good little cameo.
A lot of cameos in this film is actually quite a few.
Yes, similar to Mike Bassett. You know, you think the budget on these films, but like, you know, they've just got some good cameos in. And I thought at times it was a little bit predictable in some ways what the characters were going to do. Like you knew something was going to happen with his family back home, and I don't know, like you knew what was going to happen, but I think it was done well. It was a simple story, but then you could apply it to any player, any person. It doesn't have to be football. It's just a sort of a general sort of success story. And I just have fond memories of this film, really.
Good. No, I totally agree with you on that one. I just really enjoyed the fact. So wait, sorry, what did you rate that film?
I'll give it 6.5 as well.
6.5. Not bad. No, yeah, as I was saying, I completely agree with you on the sort of the writing on that, or screenwriting. I also really enjoyed that how he wasn't sort of already in the football world. He was just sort of playing to play at the beginning. Obviously, he wanted to become professional, and I just like that whole hurdle, because I think it gives you a bit more. You're more invested in the film. I think because of that, it gives you a reason to be like, I want him to get what he deserves, and especially when I think he made that sacrifice to get the truck or something, and I just think that just adds to the character as well. So I ended up giving this one a 7, purely because of how much I enjoyed it the first time around when I was younger. I don't think I would recommend. I think there's other films to recommend to people watching, but I still enjoyed it. I still thought it was entertaining. Like Harry said, there was some issues with the film, like kicking with your left when you're a right-footed player, but I think we can all look past that a little bit. But anyway, moving on. So the next film is Green Street. Now, I had watched this quite a few times, and I do enjoy the film. But H, what did you think of the film?
Yeah, I've seen this a few times as well. It is good. There are problems with it.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'd written down about Charlie Hunnam's accent.
Oh God.
Woeful.
It's
woeful
very.
Cockney accent.
Yeah.
First time I saw it, I assumed he must have been American. This is my first time seeing him in a film. I assumed he was American. Because no one English could be that bad at a Cockney accent.
Oh
It's
yeah.
not that hard, but it was awful. But apart from that, his acting was pretty good. But yeah, that it's hard to overlook.
I think it's just the first scene when you hear him. It's just like you're like, what's going on?
Are you having a bubble?
You having a bubble?
It's very much like
But the
a
main problem-
stereotype, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
But done badly.
The main problem was that it made me side with West Ham, and I was not comfortable with that at all.
Do you reckon there could have
but
been
there's
other
obviously a lot to
films?
enjoy about it. Like,
I said, do you reckon there could have been other films that you?
I know. I
would
think
have
the
been
story
better?
does work well with West Ham.
Oh right, okay.
To be fair, but I also enjoyed the fact that Marlon Harewood and Stephen Bywater are in a film with Elijah Wood.
It's weird to say.
Mind-boggling fact. Yeah, I mean the danger felt real, and the threats and stuff. Yeah, enjoyed it. 7.5 for me.
Ooh, 7.5. Oh, nice one, Sarah. What did you think about this one?
Well, conveniently, I watched this film for the first time last year. I was just watching like loads of classics that I sort of miss.
Green
I always
Street
heard,
popped up.
and Green Street popped up. It's always one of the ones that I've just heard about, and I knew when I was younger it was an 18, so I never got to watch it when I was younger. Because obviously I knew it was about football hooliganism and stuff, but I think by today's standards, it's not as violent as some other films or even TV shows. And one of the interesting facts is that I learned this was directed by a woman. And a lot of people think that, you know, women wouldn't direct violent films, but yeah, it's directed by a woman. And I think she had experience. I think where she grew up, I can't remember what country she's from, but I think she was actually in a firm. I think that's where sort of she was so passionate about telling this story. Obviously, it's different being very British, so she would have had some like research, but I think she's obviously had some experience. And I think having a female director definitely brings a lot back to the character. I mean, you do sort of sympathise with Charlie Hunnam's character, and you realise that he's got this broken relationship with his brother, and he's got reputation to uphold because his brother was part of the firm when, you know, he was younger. So I like that aspect. I think that you can sort of see from the top how it's been influenced, sort of the whole sort of story and the connection with the characters. Again, I've got Charlie Hunnam's accent, shocking. It really pulled me out of the film, and that's what I hate, because that happens with various films like Robin Hood with Russell Crowe trying to do a Nottingham accent. Bad.
Get an actor who is not from Nottingham.
Yeah, he's Geordie. Why have you got him to do a like Cockney accent? It just doesn't work. But it does good. He's very good acting, but the accent just really, really put me off. Yeah, and I think what I love about this is like it's the fashion. You know, it's where you see the Stone Island, like the iconic.
So much Stone Island in this film.
You're just like, oh my god, that's perfect. Like whoever did the costume for this was brilliant, and it just fits perfectly, especially like 2005 era. Like that's what people wore to like, and people still wear that sort of brand, especially to like football games. So I thought that was really good. Yeah, I really like this film. I think I didn't really have many expectations going into it, but I think there's a lot more about character in there, so I quite liked it. Same as H. So
what did
I'd
you?
give
Yeah, go on.
7.5 out of 10.
7.5. Wow, you and H are very aligned.
Yeah.
There. So Alfie gave this a 6.
Whoa, I'm surprised.
Yeah, which is a little bit lower than I was expecting, because I think it does show quite good football culture in a way, and it does show how serious English people take football and how much it sort of means. So I think the six from Alfie is purely based on the accent. I think we can all agree he was not a fan like at all. But yeah, I thought I really enjoyed the film. I think it did a good representation on like I said, how important football is to each individual. And I wasn't so weirded out by hearing an American accent in this film. I think Elijah Wood done quite a good job really in being like, oh yeah, I don't really watch sports, to then being like a diehard, nearly quite literally diehard West Ham fan. I think he did quite well from beginning to end. But yeah, I think there could have been...
it wasn't cringy at all.
No, not at all. Yeah, no, I think that but again, this has been a consistent theme. The accent was kind of weird, didn't get it. I mean, we've said that enough now, but for me, I gave this an 8. It's a little bit higher.
Can't talk about that enough.
I know, yeah, true. But I thought the fighting in it was satisfying to watch, not in a weird way, just the impact was there. Like when someone got hit, you really was like, that looked like it would be painful.
What did you think of the sort of final fight on the beach? Remember that sort of like the beach?
No, it's a bit messy. In terms, like, I think they could have done a better job with the choreography of the actual fighting, but it kind of, I think it could have been a bit darker. Like, you should have seen someone get really hurt because it was all just sort of happening. See your main characters go down, get back up, but right at the end where he got on top, the main guy from Millwall got on top of the other protagonist, and just pretty much, I'm pretty sure he's dead. I mean, you don't get it confirmed,
he was going to kill him, wasn't he? Yeah.
He's either dead or had severe brain damage, because I think the weirdest part about that was where you were seeing him hitting him, but there was just no reaction. And I was like, that was dark.
No, he dies because at the end,
drags him away, doesn't
Elijah Wood's talking about living in memory.
It's not like fully confirmed. It's not like, usually there's like a funeral scene and stuff like that, or
implications there.
But it's just, I don't know. Yeah, I think they could have done a better job with his death. I think it deserved a bit more because he had such an impact on the main character. But overall, I enjoyed the film. I thought it was entertaining.
It's nitty, it's gritty, very British.
Didn't show that much football.
No,
it's the only one of the 8 that's based on fans.
Yeah,
I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with that as well. I think it gives you a great, because you see all these football films, it's just about, I can be the best player on the team, I can score this goal, I'm the only man who can do this. But this time it's like,
other side of the pitch.
We're fans and it's passionate. So yeah, no, I enjoyed that aspect of it. Yeah, I think it's best to give it a pause right there, take a break, because lets things sort themselves out, and obviously you guys can rejig some scores based on how we're talking, maybe rethink some of your ideas. But yeah, anyway, yeah, so we're going to stop here for now and we'll return very soon. Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We just had a quick break there. So last time we spoke about goal. Was it goal we were speaking about recently? Was it? Oh no, it was
Green Street.
Green Street. It was Green Street. Yeah, so we were just speaking about Green Street. We are moving on to Bend It Like Beckham, which is, I think when you say football film, is one of the first films really to come to my mind. But Sarah, what do you think about this one then?
Again, this is a fond childhood memory-filled film. Watched this so many times. I just love it. I think it touches upon so many different themes. Obviously, football, women's football, and I think this is around the time I started to learn about how big American football is for women, and it was like they addressed that in the film, and that's like her end goal. So you dress like women's football, got the culture, because she's Sikh, so you've got all the sort of expectations being married. You've even got her friend Tony, who comes out as gay. So you've got all these different happening. There's so many things happening, but you don't get confused. It's concise. I just love so many things about this film. I love the humour of it. Gurinder Chadha. She also did. You guys might not have seen it, but Angus Thongs and Perfect Snogging. You've probably heard of it.
Definitely seen that the film, yeah.
May have seen it, may not. But yeah, so she's brilliant at doing a sort of comedy aspect there. And I have a little fact for you. Parminder Nagra, who plays Jess, is from Leicester. And there's that scene where she shows Jonathan Rhys-Meyers' character, the coach, like her burn on her leg.
Oh yeah.
That really was a burn on her leg in real life.
God, Becky was saying, they were like, how did they get that looking so real?
Yeah,
I was like,
so
either
it's
it is
real.
real or really good makeup and design. Like,
so I only found that out recently,
Wow.
looking into this film, that she was really worried that she wasn't going to get cast because obviously you have to wear shorts playing football. And she managed to work that into the script. So that's a genuine moment, and it was genuine because she jumped up and got like beans. I think she got baked beans burnt on her leg.
so the story was real.
That's real.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
That's
Fun
real.
fact.
I don't know about the coach's knee. I don't
Wow.
know about that one, but
That didn't scar me as a child, but when I heard that, I was like,
Yeah,
scared.
you'd have
I
winced, don't you?
remember
Like-
being like, oh man, that does not sound good.
yeah.
Wow.
Again, this film has a great soundtrack. Maybe it's because the sort of era came out in 2002.
It's a great soundtrack, isn't it?
Great soundtrack. I just think of Mel C. Whenever I hear Mel C on the radio, I think of this film. Like when
really?
they're in the club in Germany, I just think of that film. And yeah, there's a few cameos as well. You got, I think it's one of the singers from All Saints is one of the football players, and then everyone else they're professional female football players.
Is
and
that
they played
Mel?
for a few, yeah. And then everyone else is like, I think they played for like London teams. So
Yeah. Because
yeah.
it would be good at football, obviously, to be in a football film.
Yeah, I think they trained for it, like Keira Knightley and Parminder like trained for it. But
Keira Knightley was ripped in this film as well.
yeah, and then they're just wearing like sports bras all the time because they're like, yeah, I'm ripped, whatever, it's the summer, do what I want. But no, I just love this film. I love the dynamics, love all the themes it touches on. Yeah, I can't really think of anything negative to say about it. Unless you guys say something, it might inspire me. But I'm giving this film 8.5 out of 10.
8.5. That's
Not perfect, but
stronger than I expected.
it's very highly rated in my book.
Nice. H, any comments on that? Do you want to add anything or give your own review?
This is my first time seeing it as well.
What? Okay,
Not
wow.
as well
my
as
God.
obviously before. I mean, as well as some of the other films. But no, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was excellent. Like you say, I thought almost all of the relationships I found really believable and like genuine. Like, I really believe they were actual family that existed. The main problem with it was Joe, the coach. I just did not buy him at all.
No.
Like, as the romantic lead. Don't know, but I didn't
I
feel
think
any
he's good
chemistry
looking.
between
That's fine
him
by
and
me.
Jess.
Oh man, I do not think he's good looking. I think
I think he is.
No, I think he's
was alright.
too
alright.
pretty. He's too pretty. It's sick to look at.
Oh, so he's pretty. He's pretty.
He's too
said,
pretty.
yeah.
He is too pretty. His eyes
yeah,
as well
he's
are
good
so
looking.
distracting.
I don't know. I just didn't buy his personality as like
Genuine.
really. I just didn't see the spark between him and Jess. But other than that, I thought characters all played off each other really well. Also, that scene where he's got the jar of French mustard and the salt,
I
where
was
he's
just
explaining
thinking
the
of that.
offside rule. I've never seen the offside rule explained better than that.
Yeah.
That is so simple, perfect, excellent. Also, one great cameo is the guy from, remember that bit in the In-Betweeners where they get in suits and the guy's, too jazzy? Too jazzy?
No.
He keeps
No,
asking
you've
for a
lost.
suit. Oh, no. Good. Anyway, he's in it. He's the dad of I think they see Jess kissing at the bus
Oh,
stop.
yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
the
yeah.
dad that comes in.
Got you.
Nice. Would you rate this one then?
Yeah, 8 out of 10.
Just forget what we're here for, H.
Yes,
Nice.
I did. Yeah. Well, why are they looking at me still?
Right, no,
Yeah,
8 out of
yeah,
10.
really good.
Okay, okay. So Alfie gave this a 5. Just so you know,
What?
a 5.
Are you joking
Which
me?
is a little shocking because
Get him back on.
okay,
Get him back on.
Call him up. This is outrageous. I've gone a little bit above a 5. So I did enjoy this film. I do enjoy this film. It was really good. I think I enjoyed it a lot more when I was younger because it has that sort of energetic pace about the film. And the film itself does move quite quickly through the story. Like, you really get stuck in. I didn't know that they were. I put the subtitles on because I watch most of my films with subtitles on. Don't know about you guys.
No, never do that.
Well, the reason why I do that is because they say gory a lot, which I had no idea was in the film. So I was a bit like, why do they keep saying gory? What is gory? What does it mean? Like, why are they? I felt weird they were using it in a weird context. I didn't really understand it. Googled it. It's actually means like pale-faced or white-skinned. So that's when they were talking about, oh, you're going to get a gory husband. And I was like, is that sort of... I didn't know if that was like a break off religion, but it's just a white husband. And I was like, that explains so much.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously that was like a cultural difference that I experienced, which I think, like you were saying, Sarah, there was a lot of cultural difference quite apparent in this film.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
The strictness of the parents compared to the worry of the English family just was worried about her being straight or bisexual, like, you know, lesbian, whereas Jess's family were worried about her being a solicitor and just being like...
And she gets A levels.
Yeah.
Like, thank God, come on, A's, all A's.
And then they turn to I think they refer to as Babaji, I think. I'm not sure.
It.
They turn to Babaji and they say, oh, thank you. And then Jess is there like...
Yeah.
I'd be like... No, I'd be pissed. I was like, well, she worked for the results.
I did it.
Why are you praying? I mean, obviously that's just because of their religion, obviously. But I was just like, wow, like, I'd hate to be in Jess's shoes.
Mm-hmm.
But I really enjoyed the film, although I think where I was, because we're obviously doing a football podcast, I was focusing on the football a lot more. And it was entertaining, but it was just, most of it I felt was just training for one game that you didn't really see, and that Jess didn't really play, which pulled it down. I gave this a 7, which I'm going to write down. A 7, purely because this is a football film, although it has a lot of different elements that you don't really see in a football film, which is like the cultural, the impact. It, you know, mainly entirely evolving around sort of the women's aspect in this, and sort of being a girl. And obviously there was the scenes where she's playing with the guys in the park, which I thought was quite good, because I don't know about you, Sarah, but that's not something that guys would sort of openly be comfortable with, you know what I mean? And she was just dancing around them, and I think it made her look
just
really good.
Them.
But I don't think it shoved it in your face about that, how she was a girl playing with guys, because it just sort of did it naturally. And I think that just sort of showed how it gives you that expectation of, oh, she is good at football because she can dance around anyone, and she has a weird obsession with David Beckham, which I thought
on the
was
wall,
quite
like on the slanted wall, and like
which she talks to upside down.
Yeah, he's
by
facing
the way.
like the wrong way.
And I was like, surely if you talk to him, you'd put him the right way up for you, rather than. So I was a bit like, come on, guys, like. But that was weird. Also, the David Beckham cameo.
Just gonna say that.
Didn't look anything like him. I just didn't think the first time around that. Obviously, I knew who David Beckham was when I watched it the first time, but I was just like, what are they on about? And then obviously rewatched it. And I was like, that doesn't look nothing like David Beckham.
Yeah.
It just looked like a bald guy with a blue navy shirt on. Like, it didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, it was an okay film. I think I just hyped it up a little bit too much from when I was younger.
I think the ending does sort of, that's where it loses it a little bit. Like, it's just like you said with the in-person. Like,
I think it would have been better if you had some shots, because they go to
America. They
Miami.
play college, aren't they? Yeah.
Is it Colorado or Miami Heat or something?
Miami.
California.
Florida.
California.
Yeah, Miami. I think.
Santa Clara, California.
Santa Clara. That's the one. So I think it would have done. Obviously, it probably would have stretched the budget a bit. But if they ended up, you saw just a little bit of them at Santa Clara.
Yeah, maybe some kind of like induction, like they get to college and then that's it, cut there.
Yeah, you know, just even if it's like not on location type situation where you're just sort of making it seem, I think they should, rather than just like going off on the plane, you're a bit like, you feel like you've gone through that whole film and just been let down by, I know they made it, but I want to know where they're going. I want to see it. So you
almost want a sequel, I think, sometimes, but at the same time, I don't believe in sequels.
Well have been done a sequel.
Yeah.
Would it be called Bend It Like Beckham though?
Bend It Like Ronaldo? I don't know.
Dempsey.
They also made it into a musical as well, which
Really?
I haven't seen. But my friend, she saw it on stage, and I think she said it was okay. I'd be intrigued to see how they did it. Like, I don't know if footballs are flying everywhere. Are they on wires? I don't know how it works. But it had a short run in the West End. I know that.
I didn't know that. That's actually kind of cool.
I might go listen to a few songs actually, see if they're on Spotify after this. But
Oh, God. Anyway, moving on with our next film, Mean Machine. Now, I don't know about you guys. I really enjoyed this film. I was really entertained by it. So I gave this one a shocking 10 out of 10.
get out of here.
10 out of 10.
No way.
I enjoyed it from start to finish. I was having a blast watching the film, although it did have its issues. Compared to obviously everything out there, I just found it. I was laughing. I was actually laughing. I was in creases with some of the things that was happening in this film. And I was like, I need to have at least one 10 out of 10. And I had problems with it in pretty much every other film.
We never agreed that you had to have a 10 out of 10.
No, I agreed to myself. I was like, I want one to be a 10 out of 10. And I was like, I loved Mean Machine. I like the cast because you had Danny, obviously, Vinny in there, Jason Statham, the guy from Willy Wonka.
I realised that, the granddad.
And I was like, oh my God, it's the guy from Willy Wonka. Well, technically the guy from Mean Machine. Jason Statham obviously plays a nutcase, but a Scottish one at that, which...
That accent.
I know, but it was so hilarious. And his character was, just brilliant. And I just really enjoyed it. I just thought Danny Dyer as well in that was hilarious. So it's weird to see Danny Dyer just being so funny and just so stupid. Because he plays the hard nut, but he plays the hard nut in most of his films, but in this one he's just the clumsy fool.
Yeah.
Which I just thought it was just so funny. I really enjoyed it. I understood the film. It had really good messages about how important football can be to some people who don't have a lot. Football is sort of like a scapegoat of their own realities. Also, it's just the classic prisoners versus guards trope, which easy to write. I think it probably should be a little bit more different. But when you're going back, I'm not sure when this film was made, but it was clearly like early 2000s.
2001.
2001. So
yeah,
not a lot of films would have really done it since then. Maybe Longest Yard, but
I think the remake of Longest Yard was after this.
So I don't think it had been done that much. So I sort of took that into consideration. So I was pretty much watching this and going, this is just Longest Yard. But then I realised, I wouldn't really have been aware of the film Longest Yard until it was remade. So, but no, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was hilarious. The commentary, there's some with the commentary, the two guys just talking about the game, and he says something like, "Oh, that must have hurt," and then the guy goes, "Oh, you can say that again," and he goes, "Oh, that must have hurt," and he's like, I was like, man. I was like, it killed me just them two just talking and just I really enjoyed it. 10 out of 10 for me. Go on, Sarah, what do you think? I know you look like you got something to say.
Well, I've split your score. I've gone half of it. This was probably my least favourite film on the list. Again, the first time I watched it a couple of days ago. I just don't think the jokes landed. I think it lacked atmosphere. There was no music, and it was just really dead at times. I just found it a little bit awkward. Vinnie Jones is Vinnie Jones. He obviously plays to his strengths, being an ex-footballer. So when he's actually playing in the match at the end, you can see, he's still got the pace and the strength, and that really works.
As well, I think at the end was the most football I'd seen in a film.
Yeah,
that's much football.
That's the main positive.
The best shot football, the most believable.
I was like, they're actually 0-0 at half time. I was like, that's
you can just tell
believable.
They've played a game, actors played the game, and the camera's just gone on the sidelines and just filmed it. It was the football in this was the best out of all of the films that we're talking to. That's what saved this film, in my opinion. Then I thought, it was playing all of these jokes and stuff, and every time it would cut, look, Vinnie Jones is being harassed in the corridor again. So it's a bit repetitive at times. I thought there they could have played on sort of like the racism aspect a little bit more, because they started to sort of do that with the guy who becomes the manager.
Yeah.
Like they just randomly beat him up, and I thought that was a good, well, not a good moment, but the way that the characters interacted was interesting, and I would have liked to have seen that more. And when he kicks the ball away, and then I think he goes and retrieves it, and the guard's like, "What are you doing? You know, he's not your mate. He's going to leave you," and stuff like that. So I think they could have played with that a little bit more. I also put the uniforms reminded me of Porridge. Like, I didn't know when this was set. Was it supposed to be 2001? I don't know, because I just didn't like the aesthetics. It was
Or
very...
the football uniforms or the prison.
Just the prison uniforms, like
Oh,
blue
right, yeah.
overalls. I was just like, what's
That's a good
going
point.
on? It was very 50s, 60s, like Porridge, and I was like, or
I did get a
Paddington,
little-
if you've seen it.
I did
Like,
get a little
what?
confused where Danny Dyer takes off his shirt and he's wearing an England top. I was like, so
Yeah,
you get
that
your
wouldn't be
own
allowed.
clothes? And why are you wearing prison clothes if you get your own clothes?
Yeah, I don't think...
All by 2001 was already like the grey sweatsuit
Yeah,
time already.
yeah.
Uh,
So yeah, just the costume was a little bit weird for me. And yeah, and one of the things that I noticed as well, I don't know if this was done deliberately, but with the films that were chosen, there's a lot of actors that have appeared in multiple films.
Yeah, we did not mean that.
So you got
I went,
Vinnie
like,
Jones
back to back Vinnie Jones, Danny Dyer.
Yeah.
Like, somehow, I don't know how I managed it.
So you got Vinnie Jones in this, and She's the Man.
Yeah.
You had a character called Jeff Bell, who was in Green Street, Mean Machine, and Goal. Was it Goal?
And Mike
sorry,
Bassett.
Mike Bassett.
Yeah.
There's so many people that do like different like cameos in each of these films. It's ridiculous. But
I think the only person with more is Martin Tyler.
yeah. But yeah, it was silly. It was silly. It didn't really. The football was the best thing that saved this film for me at the end. The actual game quality was good, but I didn't love it. So I'm going to give it 5 out of 10.
Nice. No, fair points there. I really do think the football is probably, out of all of this, the football in Mean Machine was probably the one that stuck out the most as just being believable in general, and that you thought you actually, they're actually playing the game rather than pick up shots. But anyway, H, I think obviously this is your turn to let me know what you think.
Yeah, I mean, I did enjoy it. Like I say we've talked about the quality of the match. It's the film that most made me want to play football, maybe want to get back out and play football. But there were quite a few issues I had with it. I didn't care for the wipe transitions, the vertical wipe transitions.
Yeah.
Did not
Every
fit
transition.
Did not fit it at all. Every time. And the sound effects and soundtracks were just, I don't know, it looked like they'd been plucked off like a free soundeffects.com or whatever. Like in the training montages, there's two on the nose where they had the convicts training, and they're playing like this happy, like trumpety music. And then it switched to the guards, and it's like,
militant.
it's angry music. Like,
And they're all
these are the
perfect
bad
and in
guys.
sync.
All
Two
in
on the
black.
nose.
Yeah.
Also, Vinnie Jones' character, keeping his ear pierced in prison. I don't know if that's allowed or not.
I know.
I doubt that, actually, yeah.
Oh, God.
And at the end, when they listened to the game, there was so many prisoners in that.
Round one radio.
In the middle bit. Yeah, with no guards watching them. Like, I understand a lot of the guards are playing in the match, but
Yeah, that's true. You
not
just
leaving
escape, wouldn't you?
them all
Surely.
unattended.
Jump the wall, they're all watching football.
I kept getting distracted by the Chiefs' eyebrows.
Oh my
If you
God,
notice them,
yeah.
They're just like
Whizzles.
pointing up.
Are they real? Do you think they're real?
I enjoyed those. I did enjoy them. I think they were, yeah. I mean, the eyebrows do start to go out of control when you hit middle age. The Black Country Bastard was a great nickname. Enjoyed that.
Jeez.
Yeah, also it was fun to see Sally Phillips in it. Was not expecting that.
That was another negative I had. I love Sally Phillips. I think she's great, comedy queen. But her
Really random.
role in this was pointless. It's absolutely pointless.
Yeah, it didn't add anything.
Not good for women either, is it?
Didn't paint a nice light, unfortunately.
Fighting with the convicts and having sex.
Yeah, and a fake nose piercing as well.
I thought she pulled that off, to be fair.
Bit too big, I thought.
Oh wow, difference of opinion. That sounds like a new podcast. Nice.
Well, a podcast discussing Sally Phillips with a nose ring.
Yeah, do you not think we can get good content out of that?
5 episodes
Well, I
at
think we
least.
covered it, right?
Yeah, fair enough. Anyway,
I
right.
gave it a 6.5.
6.5. Right,
Generous, I think.
my 10 is really pulling this film up right now. No, Alfie gave this a 5, so I was the only one who highly rated it. I will defend that number till my death, so don't come at me. But Alfie gave it a 5. He didn't give me any notes, unfortunately, so I can only assume.
We'll never know.
Only assume he liked the football, as did Sarah.
I reckon he thought it was all right.
He thought it was all right. It was all right.
Yeah.
Oh, it was all right. Right, so the last one we have is Kicking and Screaming. So, H, did you want to start us on this one?
I watched this when I was a kid and really enjoyed it. Then again, I watched it earlier today and just did not get the same enjoyment out of it. And it was fine. It was a perfectly nice film, but I felt like I was not the target audience at all. More targeted at kids. The pronunciation of Pele was infuriating to me. I thought the dad didn't have any redeeming features at all. I probably would have stopped talking to him if that was my dad.
Oh, God.
What's the point? But I understand that Will Ferrell's character is meant to be like spineless, let people walk all over him and stuff. So that did kind of make sense. Yeah, it was fine. It was a nice film. Very like middle of the road kind of comedy. Also, I don't know if you noticed the uncle character, the young uncle playing for the bad team, is Josh Hutcherson from the Hunger Games.
Oh,
Wow.
Peter in the Hunger Games.
I didn't notice that. Is this Uncle Bucky who's the child?
Yeah.
Oh God. Jesus.
Also, Byung-sun was absolutely adorable.
Yeah.
Big fan of him. But that's all I got to say about it. A 5 out of 10.
5 out of 10 for H's Kicking and Screaming. Fair. No, I like that. I like that a lot, actually, H. I did enjoy the film more than I was expecting, because I watched the trailer and it just looked like it was just going to be a typical, predictable, shouty, screamy film. But it had its moments. I thought it was okay. I gave this a 3 out of 10. Very, very low. I'll write that down now. I just didn't get on with it. I was just getting annoyed watching it. Like you said, H, is clearly targeted at kids because there was no real football in there. No real moments of football. And what annoyed me the most, right, is the bits where you see the kid shoot at the goal directly at the keeper, and he's just always jumping away from the ball, and it's like right at him. So it's just like he's just chosen to jump, but not. He's clearly being directed to like just jump, because the ball is literally. I think at one point the kid hits the ball and he's jumped like this way before he's actually hit the ball. And he's like pretty much mid-air, and the kid hasn't even kicked this ball yet. And then it just goes straight down the middle, as you probably would expect a child to be able to do.
I have seen kids do that, to be fair.
Just dive in.
When I used to ref, I did see kids who were that bad.
Oh, man. It just annoyed me. I didn't get anything from this film. It was wholesome, I guess. But it was just a typical Will Ferrell film where he just gets angry and frustrated, then goes a bit out of control and crazy, and then gets a bit too committed, and then realize, oh, I've got a bit crazy, and then sort of turns it back, becomes the person he used to be. I was like, it's not really getting anything from this film. The only thing I thought was funny was his dramatic coffee addiction, which I thought was quite entertaining to watch. Just obviously for someone who basically is addicted to coffee, where he's like walking down the street and then he stops and he's like, what is that amazing smell I'm smelling? And he just turns and he goes into a coffee house and he's like, I would like a coffee, but I don't want it too strong. Can I get like a half and a half? And then he gets his coffee, he just takes it and squeezes it and burns himself because he doesn't know about the coffee sleeves. Which I thought, small bits like that, I just like, oh, that's kind of funny. I like that. But 3 out of 10 from me. Sarah, do you have any adding thoughts on this?
Unfortunately, it sounds like I didn't miss out, but I didn't get to see this one just because of time. But I watched the trailer and I think that was enough. It sounds like a generic kids American soccer film. It's obviously more about the family than the football, from what I can tell.
Oh yeah, it really is.
From that, didn't they brings in like a coach as well?
Fine is the best way I can describe it.
What? Say that again.
Sorry, I got well laggy for a second there. I would describe it as it's the only word I could use to describe it.
Yeah,
okay.
Fair
Fine.
enough. Fine. Oh,
Yeah.
fine.
Inoffensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, middle of the road kind of thing. I mean, it doesn't sound like I'm going to be jumping to see it from what you guys have said.
No, effectively, actively avoid this film. You don't need to watch it. It's a waste
I'm not
of
a massive
time.
Will Ferrell fan anyway, but
What would
no
you
loss.
rate this? What would you rate this then?
from the trailer, I would say a 4.5.
4.5. That's more generous than I thought. Okay,
Yeah.
so he's not here to defend himself, so it's prime opportunity. Alfie gave this a 6. So to put that in perspective, he gave this a higher rating than Mean Machine and Bend It Like Beckham.
Wow. As if.
I just
That
think
is-
that's disgusting.
Are you sure those are his scores?
He
Those
gave,
are
Shaolin,
his-
he gave Shaolin Soccer even higher than that.
I know he wanted to give Shaolin Soccer.
Almost.
He gave Shaolin Soccer 7 and Kicking and Screaming 6, which I think. Okay, I get that, but you almost gave it a 10. He was telling us he almost gave it a 10. But anyway, I think right. So let's go through some of these scores. So we have. Where shall we start? So Mike Bessett, I think overall could win. We have a 9.5799. I think that's looking like our winner. I think
I think it will be.
Pretty
it's gonna
strong
be our
across all of us, I think, wasn't it, that one?
Yeah, it's going to be pretty strong across the board, really. With that, we have She's the Man, a 6.856, potentially lower, mid lower.
Mm-hmm.
We have Green Street with a 7.5, 7.58, and a 6. That's looking like top half at the moment. Shaolin Soccer, a 4, a 7, an 8, and a 7, which could see it could see that lower mid table
4
there.
threw it off.
Yeah. Goal 6.5, 6.5, 7, 9.
Stand by it.
Okay. Sorry, just got a little time there. A goal, 6.5, 6.5, 7, 9. Again, lower mid lower, sort of probably pushing top 4 there. Bend It Like Beckham, 8, 8.5, 7, and a 5 from Alfie. That 5 could probably see it pull it down mid top level. Mean Machine, 6.5, 5, a 10, a 5. And I think that could, my 10 probably pushes it up where a little longer where it should be there. And finally, Kicking and Screaming, obviously going to be our bottom with 5, 4.5, a 3, and a 6 from Alfie. Weirdly, I'm still kind of confused about that. But yeah, we're going to pause for a quick break. I'm going to add up these scores and I will reveal the table when we're back. Okay, so see you guys for the next section. Okay, so welcome back, guys. We had a quick break there. So we've just finished sort of giving our feedback on sort of our top 8 films. If you think, no, we have placed them wrong, let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Got to plug that in there. So I've got the final list here. So let's go through them, shall we, guys? And see where we place these films. So obviously at top, I think, easy to say, Mike Bassett. Across the board, it looked like everyone enjoyed the film. Room for error, but not that much room. It's a classic, and I think I'll probably watch it again.
Yeah, definitely.
In Joint second and third is Green Street and Goal. Now, I think we need to have a defined unitive answer. Which is
Without
second?
Alfie.
Without Alfie, yeah. He lost that right. Which do you think is second and which do you think is third, Sarah? Which way round would you put those? We've got Green Street and Goal.
I would put Green Street personally, only just by like a fraction. Because again, they haven't got much football in, so they're very similar in that sense. But I put Green Street a little bit above.
Yeah. H?
Yeah, Green Street as well for me. More of an appeal to watch it again, I found.
Yeah,
I would watch Goal again for sure, but
no, completely agree. I would have said Green Street as well. So that's final. We have Green Street in second. No, agree with what you guys are saying. I think that film's just a bit more entertaining to watch. I would watch it again. If not, if I find out someone hasn't seen it, I'd probably be like, oh, well, let's watch it because it's just one of those films, I think. Especially Elijah Wood. It's just weird watching him. Anyone else find that? It's weird watching Elijah Wood. It's just a weird
It's just
person.
a hobbit, just going around like West Ham. Like,
I know. Yeah, mate. So Goal, third. I think I've got top three. I think it belongs there. It's a wholesome film. I like it. Good story. Strong film. 4, we have Bend It Like Beckham with 26.5. Decent score.
Nice.
Bend It Like Beckham 4th. I think before this we said it would be in mid-table. I'm happy with that. I think it's had a good impact on culture in a sense. It's a popular film, but if you put it under a spotlight, there are some cracks.
Yeah, I mean, I would put it higher, but as a group, I think that's a fair, at least top 4. It's top half the table.
It's top 4. It's qualified for Champions League. Exactly, yeah. Brilliant. So moving on, number 5, we have Mean Machine at 26.5. I told you. We made.
You, Mark, you threw it off.
We made mid-table. Baron, this is out of 8, so it is kind of in the lower half. So no, I really enjoyed the film. I think
you've been fixing matches, Mark.
I am the one with the pen and paper. No, I don't know. You guys obviously had some different points, which is fine. Everyone watches films differently. I just thought the film was just really fun. It was a good watch, and I think anyone can watch it, young or old. It's a really good. I think it's
about young. Depends how old adult.
What rating is the film? It didn't feel like
15,
violent.
maybe?
It didn't feel violent.
12, 15, I'd say, maybe.
It didn't feel violent.
Didn't feel violent.
There was no blood. Didn't remember there being any blood.
Where? He cut his face with a knife.
Oh wait, yeah, probably actually. That wasn't
And
that.
the racism.
The old man gets blown.
You don't see any of that though. The weird. I think the most gruesome part you see is the knife in the cheek.
Prisoners getting beaten.
Yeah, but compare.
Driving,
but then compare the violence to the Green Street. It's a bit different.
Well, that's a definite 18. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's mental. Yeah. Moving on. She's the Man.
Look at the rating.
She's the Man at 6 with 26 points. So I think it was Harry's half a point on Mean Machine that pushed it up a space. It was definitely my 10 that really helped it, but still.
Mean Machine's a 15.
Yeah, that
Seems
makes
about
sense.
right, I think.
No, sorry. In 6, I skipped for some reason. In 6th place, so 5th place Mean Machine, 6th was Shaolin Soccer with 26. I was reading the wrong one. Shaolin Soccer. Fair enough. I agree with. I don't know about you guys. I agree that Shaolin Soccer. Not if you're putting it in the pool of all of these films. It's a bit mental. It's a bit confusing.
Yeah, it is a bit intense.
Yeah.
It's enjoyable, but if I think of a football film, I wouldn't think of this film. Think of it that way.
No, not at all. I think it has good scenes in it, but yeah, it hasn't aged well, I think. No, at all.
That green screen.
Yeah, that's all right. So that scored 26. In 7th is She's the Man with 25. So the bulk of these points did come from Sarah there for She's the Man with 8. You gave it 8 points. The rest of the board was 5 and or 6. The rest of us gave that. Obviously, this is a favourite for quite a few people, I think. It's up there for some. If you would say to some people, name a football film, I'd see it's a tie between things like Bender Like Beckham, Green Street, and She's the Man.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, like in terms of sort of mainstream, typical.
I think with our
watcher.
age bracket as well.
Exactly. All these films came out when we were like children, effectively. So I don't think anyone or any children should watch Green Street. If you're watching this, please check the films before you watch them, and because some of them are not for all audiences. But no, I think She's the Man is entertaining. I think it gets most of the points from just being nostalgic rather than good.
Yeah.
It's okay, really. Which is okay because that's sometimes what saves a lot of films, just being a bit nostalgic and a trip down memory lane. Especially if you're seeing a skinny Channing Tatum, which is always weird.
Very slim, isn't it?
Very slim.
Very toned.
Yeah.
They also had this is really sidetracking, but the other guy that she dates in the film, he was in the Step Up 2.
Because they did Step Up the same year.
Yes, they've both been Step Up.
Yeah.
Channing Tatum was the first one. The other guy is the second one.
Yeah,
so
I was literally like,
dancers.
I said to Becky as a little pop quiz, I was like, those two actors have been in the same film before. Do you know which film? She was like, Step Up. I was like, fair enough, no worries then. But anyway, and in last place is Kicking and Screaming. Not a football film, really, is it? At the end of the day, it's just drama, romance, and then
family drama. Jeremy Kyle.
Bit of soccer, as they like to call it, which it's not soccer.
It's just a no already, isn't it?
Soccer. Here's a good question, which
I would call it more of a football film than Shaolin Soccer.
Yeah.
Yeah, Well, I've not even seen it, but from what I can tell, the umbrella is definitely football.
There was quite a lot of football in it.
Yeah, man, it's consistent, right? But it's a soccer film. And those two, I had to know, it's a soccer film, and those two, just football and soccer, are two very different things. Especially when they kept calling the bench second string. I was like, second string?
They do that in She's the Man as well.
On the bench and stuff like that. And, you're second string. And you're like, it's an American football term. And I was like, okay, so it's... Yeah, that film had too many annoying things in it for me to give it a good score. The only thing really that could have helped it was Alfie's 6, but the rest of us gave it such a low score. It had no chance, absolutely no chance really to get a word in from us. But yeah, those are our top 10. Let me quickly run through those again for you. So that's Mike Bassett, The Green Street, Goal, Bender Like Beckham, Mean Machine, Shaolin Soccer, She's the Man, and finally Kicking and Screaming. So yeah, that was our top 10. I think we did quite a good job at that, guys. I mean, I certainly enjoyed myself watching just a load of football films within like the week. So yeah. Hopefully this gives everyone else who's listening a good ideas for films in lockdown, because we're all still in it. And I think some of these are some good, even ones as mental as Shaolin Soccer, just to be like, what is going on? Like, just something to make you forget. But yeah. Well done. I think we did quite a good job there, guys. I'm really, really impressed that we got through it and managed to not scream and shout at everyone.
Or kick and scream, you could say.
Or kicking and scream at everyone. Brilliant. Right, whilst we're all here, let's have a few talks. So I've just picked up my phone, right? Chelsea game, full time, 0-0.
Wow. Wolves against Wolves.
So that was Thomas Tuchel, however you pronounce his name, his first game. And what do you guys think of the squad? So
who we got?
Olivier Giroud starting. I mean, we've said in previous podcasts that
he's their best striker.
He's their best striker. So clearly we are right, because he's starting. But we got Timo didn't even play. Mason Mount came on in the 82nd minute. Tammy Abraham came on in the 77th, and Pulisic came on in the 76th. Is Timo overrated now?
I think it's just down on his confidence at the minute. Obviously, Tuchel's job now is to try and ignite something in them, and he's got to play people who are playing confidently, like Giroud. But obviously, he won't have had much time in the last 48 hours to actually implement his strategy or whatever. But so for the time being, he's got to play confident players.
I think he's still taken a positive out of this and pulled a point where Lampard was struggling to pull a point, really. So throughout this game, he's clearly the players aren't impacted emotionally. I think with this, you've still got a 0-0 draw against Wolves, who don't have that attacking threat they had with Jimenez, unfortunately. And I think we've seen it consistently in the past where Wolves haven't been going forward, or they haven't really had that finishing quality that they did have. But if they did have a chance, it was against Chelsea. So for them to get a 0-0 draw, I think isn't terrible for either teams right now to pull a point, especially with everything being so close. But Sarah, would you think about the game, Sarah? How do you think it could have gone?
I think, like you said, I think Chelsea have done well considering, recent news about Frank. To get that point, at least, they could have really gone in with their heads down this game. I think, especially because it's such a young squad, and a lot of them would have grown up with Frank and looked up to him, whether
massively.
that transferred to the pitch. But, seeing these sort of recent players that we grew up with, even like Wayne Rooney becoming Derby manager, you would really look up to them. So they've done well, I think, to get a 0-0. And Wolves, well, a lot of people I know at work, they love Wolves. But Wolves have gone quite downhill this season, which is a shame because they were really sort of pushing it last season, like Europe and stuff.
Had a great start to this season.
They really kicked it. Again, similar to Leicester in some ways, but Leicester have just managed to stay consistent this time. I think 0-0's a fair score for both teams, really. Wolves have done well not to lose, and then Chelsea have also done well, not to lose. But I think 0-0's a fair score for today.
Fair. If we take a look at some of the stats, it's actually quite shocking that it ended 0-0. So we've got possession, 78.9% possession for Chelsea to 21.1. Shots on target, Wolves got none, which I think obviously goes back to that lack of finishing quality.
Yeah.
And Chelsea had 5. Arguably should have had more because they had 14 shots. And
that's shocking.
To Wolves, 4
now
shots.
I'm seeing the stats.
Yeah, to Wolves, 4 shots. Even their touches, like Chelsea with 1,036 touches to Wolves 400 touch, or 399 if you want to be specific, touches. So yeah, it looks like it was a Chelsea domination. So looking at their stats, I'm actually quite shocked Chelsea didn't get at least one in potentially.
Yeah,
it's quite surprising. Do you reckon Frank could have done a better job, or it wouldn't have changed? I don't know. I expected Chelsea to win that. A momentum
should be winning games like that, 100%. When they're playing teams that are like 13th in the league, you should be winning. And if they want to get a chance at least in Europe, they should have won that. Now, especially now you've explained the stats. They should have done a lot better. So I retract my first comment about the draw.
I do too. No, obviously Chelsea have been in the limelight quite a lot in the last 3 days. It's been quite a quick turnaround. H, how do you feel about Frank Lampard's exit? Do you think it was good, bad, right decision?
I wasn't surprised by it, but I was disappointed by it for sure. League's so competitive this year. I don't see what the harm is in giving him to the end of the season, at least. It's unlikely they're going to make Champions League, whoever's their manager at this point. And Lampard obviously got on really well with the players, all the young players, look up to him and stuff. I was quite disappointed by it, but also I don't really care about Chelsea, so.
Yeah, true. No, disappointment I think is a good word to use, because we're only halfway through a season, well, just over halfway, And I think it is a bit unfair to just pull him out so quickly, might I say. That must have been in the pipelines for quite a while.
You look at Man United now. They were loyal to Ollie in the times. Like, there were so many times they could have sacked him.
Oh my God, too many times.
I don't think he's the best manager, but now they're doing really well. And he's getting a lot out of that group of players.
Definitely. I think it's a bit mad when you look at how badly Arteta was doing at Arsenal, how badly Ollie was doing at United, and you think Chelsea at that point were still doing better than Arsenal. We weren't doing terribly. I mean, Man United were sort of coming on that streak of back-to-back wins, cohesion in their team, confidence. And Chelsea were in that mix of, oh, okay, we're starting to see bits from Chelsea. Looks like the players, looks like Frank's starting to find, he's bringing on the right players at the right time. And then, I don't know, kind of like just got the rug pulled out from under his feet, or the carpet pulled out from under his feet, sorry, and just, he went flying. I don't know. I just think a player that has done so much for the club as a player probably deserved a little bit more support, or probably a bit more backing. Because I think there were talks about him getting a few German coaches in, which probably would have helped massively. I don't know. I just think the Chelsea board were just a bit unfair, a bit greedy, really, with as Chelsea are. It's a bit greedy with trying to get a title, and a result from this season, which clearly it's not already going to happen. I know it's obviously, this league is quite tight at the moment, especially with sort of top six or top four. It is very like, one, you got Liverpool at the top, now Liverpool in fourth, City are up there, Leicester somehow staying right in the middle of all of it, just having a great time. I don't think much is going to change with Chelsea. I would have personally given Frank to the end of the season, but unfortunately, guys, as per usual, we were right, but we can't make the decisions. We were right about Olivier Giroud being the best striker for Chelsea. Didn't score. But, you win some, you lose some. Anyway, moving on to another...
You draw some.
Sorry?
And you draw some as well.
Yeah, you draw some. Yeah. Moving on, there was a surprising comeback. So Aston Villa were 2-0 up. Was it 2-0 or 2? Did they go 1-1 or? I'm not too sure.
1-0. Yeah, it went 1-0.
They went
2-1 Villa.
Yeah, it must have been a great game to watch, because 1-0 up from Ollie Watkins' goal, and then Ben Mee came back, made it 1-0. Grealish got a goal finally in my FPL team, and then Dwight McNeil got a goal, and then Chris Wood sealed the deal for Burnley for a 3-2 win. But man, what a game! What a game that must have been at. It must have been so entertaining. These mid-table teams performing quite well. Kind of worried to play them at the moment. They're looking quite, I don't know, they're just looking like good football teams.
These are the sort of teams that always pose a threat of Leicester. They always have, whether we've been in Championship or Premier League, whatever. We always do really well against the top team, the typical top four or whatever. And then we could play someone like, Sheffield United and miraculously lose. Let's just say that, because that's just how we are. That's how we've been ever since I've supported them. It's something in the way of the club, sort of motto, I guess. But so I'm quite cautious of Villa and Burnley, the two Burgundy teams. I'm very, very cautious of them.
Burgundy teams, I like that. No, sometimes I do get, when I'm on first sight, I do get confused because their badges pretty much look identical, but I think it's just the colour scheme. But Villa are looking like a good team. I know they lost to Burnley, which is weird to say because Burnley barely scored 3 goals in a game. So I'm quite shocked to see Burnley score more than once or twice. So, H, what do you think about Burnley, H? What do you think about them?
They're just a great team, aren't they? Not ability-wise, but as a team, you can't fault them.
Yeah, I think we're looking
well-assembled, scouted team. They all fit in well together.
Yeah, it clearly looked like a team, two teams playing two teams playing against each other, rather than when you're playing Liverpool, you got Salah playing against fucking a team. You know what I mean? You haven't got really a main man. I mean, Jack Grealish is kind of like the star at Aston Villa, but then you've got players in that team who are obviously not as good as Jack Grealish. I mean, he's bloody brilliant, but have really come into their own right. I know, H, you don't really like Ollie Watkins, but
No, I think he's got a lot of potential.
he's got a lot of potential. He's very young.
They spent a lot of money on him.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, a lot of money. He's a lot more. He's not worth that much, but he's probably starting to climb right now in terms of his net worth.
Yeah, he's definitely picking up a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I think he could be a really good striker. Is he English? I'm pretty sure is he English, Ollie Watkins?
I think he is.
Yeah, if he continues this run, I mean, for another few.
Northern Ireland.
Oh. I mean,
Oh, he's English. Yeah, he's English.
Oh, brilliant. Mate, can we just talk about how good the England squad is looking? I just think England's looking...
You say that.
Just...
Where's the results?
Oh, mate, they will come. They will come. I think we spoke about it previously on a few episodes that there was like a golden era, and then those players got a bit too old, and then we sort of didn't really have any great players.
It was a recession.
Yeah. Now
around the recession, probably as well.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Now it's looked like we've got players lining up to play nearly every position, and we've got reserve after reserve after reserve. And I'm just looking forward to seeing England play. I don't know about you guys.
I think you get a lot of really good sort of like English talent from these sort of middle clubs as well. I feel like a lot of these sort of middle teams always seem to. Leicester does it. I know we're sort of further the table, but things like Burnley, Villa, West Brom, I know they're not great at the minute, but they do use their sort of centre of excellences, and they bring up a lot of people, and I think that's really showing in the England squad. Gareth Southgate are recognising it now, and that's good to see. I mean, the team is very young. Like the England squad at the minute is very, very young from like when we used to watch it. A lot more experienced players, but it's exciting to see fresh legs in the team. Always is good.
Nice. Yeah. H, where do you think this England team's going?
Well, don't want to get too carried away. That's happened many times before.
Do it.
But the only time we have done well is 2018, which is the only time we didn't expect anything.
Low expectations.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited. Obviously, yeah, the dream is to have a squad as deep as Germany's. But it looks like we're on our way there. It's very in fashion to give chances to young players at the moment, young English players, which, to be fair, is something the FA have been trying to get done for the last 10, 15 years. And it's actually producing results now. You can see it has worked.
Yeah, all the grassroots stuff is sort of coming through.
Nice. Yeah, I love that. I'm just excited to see sort of the next sort of English tournaments coming up. Well, sort of England being in tournaments, not English tournaments. But let's look at a few more Premier League games coming up. So we've got Leicester Everton, and since we have a Leicester fan on the channel, I wanted to say, I know it's been dropped a lot, Sarah. But, Leicester Everton.
I'm a Leicester fan.
Leicester Everton. That is kicking off. Well, now actually.
As we speak. Who have we got in the lineup? Let's have a look. Schmeichel, of course, Castagna, Fofana, Evans, Justin, Ndidi, Tielemans, Albright, Madison, Barnes, Perez up front. We've put out a very strong side there. We definitely want to win. Everton are becoming a bit of a threat for us, especially in that Champions League, Euro spots. So I imagine it is going to be quite a tough game. I think Everton, I've always rated Everton since I was younger. I've always thought, again, they were sort of a team that everyone liked, except for maybe you, Mark, being a Liverpool fan.
Yeah.
But generally, I think Everton have always been a team that people have, they're all right. We like the Toffees, they're all right. So I think this will be quite hard for us. I know we've done quite well recently, wins and draws, but I don't know. I'm a bit scared about this one.
I honestly think Leicester will be completely fine. I think players like Madison will really be up for this. He'll really be up for sort of, where's it away? Everton at home, isn't it?
Yeah, away for Leicester. Yeah.
Away for Leicester. So I think players, like I said, Maddison, really going to be up for this. Really psyched. I think this goes back to obviously what we were saying last week about Leicester just all round being a good team. Like each person knows that they got to put the effort in, especially for a player like Maddison, who is looking more like he cares more about scoring for his club rather than having a consistent game. So he's like, okay, well, I may make a few errors here, but going for that goal.
Yeah, and like even like looking at the bench and stuff, our bench is strong. Like Soyuncu, Iheanacho, Amate, Chowdhury, like it's consistent. Like you don't think, oh, there's all the second-ranked players. Like there's solid defenders and midfielders there. Like
any of them can come on and do a half decent job. Really,
and they've all got their own skills and benefits. You know, obviously everyone plays their part.
What do you think the score? What do you think the score will be?
I think it'll be 2-1 to Leicester. 2-1. I think there'll be goals from both teams. Yeah.
Not bad. I don't think Everton will score, although James Rodriguez is playing, so we've got balls pinging in now. So hopefully Richarlison can get his fat head on it, or maybe even Calvert-Lewin can get his notably fat head on it. But no, it looks like it'll be a good game. So another game that's at half time is Brighton Fulham, which I mean I don't really care about. I'm not gonna lie. I don't really care who wins. Dead game. We'll move past that. Man United, Sheffield United. I think it's kind of obvious. Man United, the form they're in.
If Sheffield United might pull out the bag, you don't know.
Mate,
they've got nothing to lose, have they?
It's the most unpredictable league in the world. 2-all. Brilliant.
5,000 to 1 they win.
Brilliant. Yeah, no, you expect Man United to spank them, really, don't you? Don't really.
It's just they need to get the goal difference up for Man U. This is the game where they can really.
Yeah, they really need to score, and I think Man United. I think Bruno Fernandes will come out tonight, and we'll see a lot more going in the back of the net. So after all those games will finish, we'll have the Spurs-Liverpool game. We'll be playing Spurs at home, so Liverpool away. That is kicking off at 8, which is going to be a nice Thursday night football. Big game. Let me look at the table real quick. We have Spurs are right behind us by a point, so they probably will be quite up for it. Right, ready to go. So I think we could got a good week ahead of us. Obviously, football is about to be finishing by tomorrow, so if you're watching this, hopefully we have some good football over the weekend. But I think that is probably time to finish our little session here on Footy Fetish podcast. So if you're still with us, don't forget to like and subscribe. Obviously, we have our lovely guest Sarah, who we will. Who we will add to the description. We'll leave some links across to her Instagram page where she does a lot of stuff, film and TV series. I'm sure you can go over there and have a lovely look and hit follow. And you have a YouTube page as well, don't you? You have a YouTube?
Yes. Yep, we do weekly YouTube videos.
There we go. Weekly YouTube videos. So thanks for coming along, guys. Thank you, Sarah, for joining us this week. It's been entertaining to say the least.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed watching some new films. Otherwise, I've never watched these films. So.
Exactly. I mean, same. I think same for everyone. It was an experience. It was a good to do. It's probably our first sort of collab as well on YouTube in terms of sort of two different platforms coming together.
Look at us YouTubers, eh? Look at YouTubers
doing everything. We're doing everything. But yeah,
the previous guest we've had have been scrubs.
Nice to Ollie, is it?
Nah, we're talking about Hendra.
He'll be back.
Fair enough. Anyway, guys, we're going to leave it there. Thank you for listening, and we will see you guys next week. See you later.